On this episode of Beer, Blues, and BS, Kidder and I are sitting down, getting caught up on the week. We're talking some bad drivers. I make a couple of awkward confessions, and boy, you better believe I come in hot because, boy, there's some stuff annoying me. It's been a week, but don't worry. You're in a good place, and the show starts right now. Welcome to the show.
It's Howard Blues and V. Mark Kidder. Pour a cold beverage, pull up a seat, enjoy time with friends.
Triple B! Well, the Triple B sucks. Okay? Come on.
Whatever, man. This is Beer, Blues, and BS. Online at beerbluesbs.com.
You ready? All right, Kidder's giving the official I'm ready side. Oh, twice. He's double ready to go. 3 times. Man, he's going crazy, folks. He's ready to go. Means I should start with going, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Beer, Blues, and BS, the podcast that's easier to listen to than trying to talk to a toddler about the whole dynamics of an HVAC system. I'm your host, Howard Blues, here, as always, with my co-host, the man, the myth, the legend, the Mark Kidder. Kidder, how you doing tonight?
Well, let me tell you something there, Howie Blues. Hack, cough, cough, man. Might be hanging around a little bit tonight, so don't make me laugh.
I see. Good old Papa Nurgle has reached out and embraced you with his plague. That's a reference that all the Warhammer nerds will recognize right off the bat. So,
great.
Yeah,
that's what we need. More people following us around.
Oh yeah, got to appeal to those hobby folks who might be tuning in because they saw a great Howard's Cave of Wonder. Like, maybe I'll try this main show. Maybe they'll talk about some stuff I care about. So, there, just appealing to them right off the bat. Yeah.
I see. Well, if we're continuing to appeal to them, it would be great if they would like, share, and subscribe, please. This channel, Beer, Blues, and BS. You can like us on Facebook, Instagram, follow us all over the place for free. All the audio versions out there, Pandora, iHeartRadio, Spotify, etc. Please click the thumbs up. Subscribe, like, share. We appreciate it because remember, sharing is caring, and it helps get us in front of more awesome people like you.
Yeah, and Kidder, at the time of us recording this, we're sitting at 99 subscribers, which I know nothing really worth bragging about, but it's the first time, Kidder, in the history of, well, maybe not in the whole history, but in a long time in the Triple B that we might actually have subscribers, more subscribers than we have actual episodes of the show. I mean, it's been a while. Like when we first started, we had a lot of people subscribe right off the bat. We quickly surpassed that in episodes, but they've been coming back. It's the race to 100. Will we hit 100 subscribers first, or will we get to episode 100 first? So hard to know. We'll see, but you can do your part. Fair viewer, hit subscribe, please.
That would be great. Please. But for now, in the unknown question of how many people will hit that thumbs up, hit that share button, we do appreciate it. And while we're waiting, we should probably get something to drink because need some vocal lubrication. You got going over there for what's on tap.
Well, Kidder, let me give you an option here. I can either go Idaho or I can go Colorado. What should I do?
Well, probably both by the time we're done.
Probably, but what should I start with? Pick a state, Kidder. Pick a state.
Well, this is tough. I've been to both states. Just Idaho was a lot shorter visit. Each of the times that I've been through Colorado. Only really been there, truly been there once. All the other times it's been at Denver International. Doesn't really count, I suppose. But it counts more than 2 feet on the other side of the state line. So, since we're going into unfamiliar territory, let's go into Idaho first. How about that?
All right, Idaho's up first. Kidder, this one coming from Idaho, thanks to the local geek's cousin. This is from the Wallace Brewing Company, brewed in Wallace, Idaho. It is the 1910 Black Lager. Let's see. We have 4.9% alcohol per volume. Let's see. Drink local, drink fresh. In 1910, the mayor of Wallace banned drinking water in favor of beer. My kind of guy. 1910 is amazingly light and smooth, sporting hints of coffee and a touch of dark chocolate in flavor. We accomplish this by cold steeping the dark malts for 24 hours prior to brewing and using Idaho-grown Pilsner malt as a base. Well, that seems to be all the information we got. So a dark beer to start off with. Can't smell the chocolate, so that's good. Hopefully it's not overwhelming in that taste. Now, Kidder, you know I'm a fan of dark beer.
Yes.
This is like a really watery dark beer.
Doesn't really sound appealing.
No, it lacks like that full body taste that you get of something like a cold smoke. You know, it's a nice full feeling. It doesn't have that. It feels very watery and such. I can pick up the coffee taste. I can pick up the chocolate taste to it. But yeah, nothing real special. I think I would rate this like a 2.5 for a rating. So it's okay. I'll drink it. I'll get through it. But a little disappointing in that sense. I want a little bit stronger, fuller taste to my dark beer. Yeah. That's a little disappointing. Kidder, what are you having this fine evening?
I suppose that means I should probably figure out what to have, huh? Well, I hear that whiskey is good for the soul and good for getting rid of whatever this kind of thing is. So, let's take a trip down to Iowa, to Templeton, Iowa. Here's the good stuff. Get some of this out here, because the good stuff is always good to have. That does smell good. Of course, I've had this before, and I do enjoy a nice glass of Templeton. Get that. Here we go. Look at that nice color. And that awesome glass there, Howie Blues. I mean, look at that. Look at this. It's just awesome. It wasn't focused for a second.
It does look pretty good there, Kidder.
So. Yes. So again, quick rundown on this. It's the good stuff. It's rye whiskey, Templeton rye from Templeton, Iowa. 45.75% alcohol by volume, which means that this here is 91.5 proof. And small town, strong spirit. TempletonRye.com. It is distilled in Indiana. What? Population's only 362 in Templeton, so I guess I could see why. Maybe they don't have the space. or something. So, cheers to your health.
Yeah, and to yours.
Oh, thanks. Oh, that's good.
Kidder, I had an annoying experience tonight on my drive home.
Was Big D trying to call you again?
No. That would have at least been entertaining, you know.
Mm.
No, I was leaving work, and on my way, I was on Divide. I was going to turn onto Divide or onto State Street, so turning left onto State Street and kind of make my way up. We were doing Papa Murphy's for dinner, so I was going to go pick that up. And there's quite a bit of traffic on Divide. It was rush hour, you know, the 5 o'clock time frame. And, you know, Kidder, there's that Petro Serve USA right on the corner there of Divide and such. I was, where my car was, I was right kind of at the start where the center line moves over to form the left-hand turn lane onto that street right before that Petro Serve. And I mean, I was turning left, but I didn't drive into it because it meant I would have to cross the double yellow center. Kidder, how many cars drove into opposing lane traffic, crossing the double yellow to go around me to get into the left-hand turn lane instead of waiting patiently?
Well, probably.
Take a guess.
At least 10.
Wasn't quite 10.
No.
But if you half that, you'd be right on.
Well, it is surprising to me that it was only 5.
Yeah.
People are terrible at driving.
I don't get it, Kidder. I don't get it. You know, what is in such a hurry that you have to, you know, be so stupid?
Well, everybody has to be somewhere, and everybody is more important than anyone else.
Yeah.
That's how people suck at driving.
I mean, the last 2 people that even went around me, I ended up right behind them in the left-hand turn lane. It's like, you didn't get all that far. I don't get it. I like getting to my destination safely. I like having a car that runs and it isn't smashed to pieces. I don't get that attitude of, I'm going to just go around. It's like, stay in your own lane.
Now, why would you want to do that when you can make it 20 feet in farther, 20 feet ahead of anybody else? I'm in front of you now. Cool. We're both at the same light together.
Yeah, that has always been a pet peeve of mine, are the people who are like racing through traffic, swerving from one lane to the other lane, you know, cutting people off, nearly running, you know, people off the road, causing accidents, and then you get to the same light and you're right next to them. It's like you almost caused 3 wrecks and you are no faster or further along than I am. What's the point? Speaking of annoying, Kidder, I have man, this is going to be like Howard comes in hot this week.
Big D's calling again.
No. I have an annoying project I have to do tomorrow, and I'm not real happy about it.
So you're saying that you have to come in on Saturday?
No, this isn't work related. But you know what, Kidder? I'm so hot about it. Do you want to make this a hot take?
Well, if we don't, I mean, something's going to explode. So let's go.
I understand that we have had a record amount of snow. I get because of that. When you go to walk your dog, they may not be able to get into the grass. And they might have to do their business wherever they can. But, and I'm sorry, future Howard, if you can't clean up your dog's and you just leave it on the sidewalk, you don't deserve to have that dog. Kidder, one of my sidewalks along the side of my house is full of dog.
I shouldn't laugh because that's very but I empathize and sympathize because I too have yellow snowbanks, and thankfully I haven't seen any piles yet, but I know that there are some landmines waiting.
Yeah. It's one of those things. Like, I understand. I've grown up with dogs. I understand you take it for a walk, they're going to do their business. Totally get that. But there's one thing if you are, cleaning up after your pet, that's one thing. That's fine. You shove a baggie in your coat pocket, you scoop it up, you get home, you throw it in the trash. Hell, I don't mind if you walk past my place and you throw that baggie of dog poo into my trash can. I can live with that. What I don't like is the fact that now I have this chunk of sidewalk that is covered in dog feces that tomorrow I'm going to go out and I'm going to clean up because it looks terrible that it's all on my property. What's even worse, we have this happen at the Capitol. I see it pretty frequently. People who grab that, to have that baggie, they do clean up after their dog, but instead of walking to the trash can or then putting it in their car, because we have a lot of people who drive their dogs to the Capitol and walk around, they just leave them by one of the bollards, the light up bollards for like the grounds crew to clean up. Mm-hmm. Go to all the trouble to bag it up, and then they just toss it there by the sidewalk. Like, somebody else will clean that up.
Yep, close enough.
If you can't handle the responsibility of cleaning up after your dog, you shouldn't have a dog. I'm just going to say it. Just going to say it. It's a responsibility. It's part of having a pet. So that's what I get to do tomorrow, Kidder. So I get to go clean up after somebody else's dog.
Yeah. I'd say number 1, bring the hose. Number 2, bring the shovel. And shovel it up. It'd be even better if we could find out who it was. If only there were a certain bird in the area watching over the neighborhood, like a security service that could tell us where that dog lives, and then make a return to sender.
Yeah. I know where one of the dogs is from, because he's an older dog, that my neighbors, instead of walking, they just open the door and he just goes wandering the neighborhood. So
which
if
is
he poops
a problem
on my lawn,
by itself.
Yeah. I don't understand being that lazy. Again, pets are like kids. If you're going to have them, you're responsible for them. That's how it goes.
That's right. We have a couple in this neighborhood too. So just remember, folks, either lock them up or they can be taken away by animal control because they're not on a leash if they're not on your property.
I know. So my sister-in-law got a new dog.
Oh,
so, this week. Yeah, it's a black lab. They named it Olive. So they're getting used to having a puppy again, but they do a great job. They do a great job of taking care of their dogs, and they've been super great with our kids and the dogs and all of that. Like, Junior's just been like, puppy, me, meet puppy, me, meet puppy. And, it's like, well, no, we got to get the puppy its shots first. And then we got to find a time when we can introduce the puppy when your parents are around. It's like, thank you. Thank you. You are following all the rules we have asked. Unlike my brother-in-law, who, came over when Lefty and I weren't around and introduced his puppy to our son. Still not happy about that one.
Or you just don't get dogs and then you don't have to worry about it.
Well, listen, there's nothing wrong with dogs.
Oh, I thought that's where I thought just one thing, and I thought that's where.
No, it's puppies. The way that they play is they nip. right? They pretend fight, they nip, they bite. And, when you have a toddler who doesn't understand that, the biggest thing that we worry about is him playing with the puppy and the puppy nips. And he decides, I hate dogs, scared of dogs, don't like dogs. That's what we're trying to avoid. That's why we say it'd be best to introduce the puppy when we're around so we can kind of control that situation. The puppy goes to bite, I can reach out and smack it on the nose real fast or pull Calvin out of the way. He can do some things. You have some control over that. But that's what we're more worried about because, my parents have 3 dogs. My brother has a dog. My sister has a dog. My sister-in-law now has 2 dogs. There's a lot of dogs in the family, and we don't want our kids to be scared of them. That's it. It's being, responsible parents. So, Kidder, I couldn't help but notice our abs are not doing so hot right now.
There's been a couple games that haven't been the best this week. So, yeah. What's causing it, Kidder? You know me, I haven't had a lot of time lately to follow, but I know you try to watch, you try and listen, you follow that stuff. What's going on? Why are we losing, man? Still injuries and cheap shots. The past 2 games, we've had players taken out by cheap shots. In fact, Cale Makar was hit with an illegal shoulder check to the head that the officials missed. Went out with the concussion protocol for the 5 minutes. They make you sit to make sure that what you're doing still. And he came back to finish the game. Didn't do a lot, but then was out for yesterday's game and then tomorrow's game as well. And then in yesterday's game, the terrible rematch against the Lightning from Stanley Cup Final, of course, Matt Calvert got blasted by, I believe it was Ian Cole, and Ian Cole today was fined by the NHL players, whatever it is, the safety league with the league. I don't remember what they're called. The player safety. You know what I mean? Yeah, you know what I'm saying.
I get what you're throwing down. I'm following. Yeah.
Oh, he was fined. And so I don't know how long Calvert's going to be out. Landeskog is still not even skating, and they're hoping to have him back on the ice by the time this episode is is released or shortly after. So if you're watching this, hopefully Landeskog is almost ready to skate and rehab and come back just in time for the playoffs. But there's an ebb and flow to the games, and it's very weird to watch because the first period, they're usually pretty good. Second period, usually pretty good. Third period, what are we doing? Just absolutely forget. And that's just something that they're trying to work on, I guess. Keep the foot on the gas pedal, keep it going forward, because you haven't won the game until the 60 minutes is up. You have to get a lead and maintain that lead. You can't just relax and hope that your defense and your goalie are going to make every save every time, because that's been the case several times this year where Avalanche have been up 3-0 and they end up losing 5-4 or something like that. So is it something that I'm worried about? Not really. Is it something that needs to be addressed? Absolutely. Because it's a problem. It's a problem. And it's not good hockey. Last night's game I was watching, and after the second goal, I just turned it off. And I'm glad that I did, because it was a 5-0 blowout.
You know, Kidder, I find, at least this is my generalized take, and it would be interesting to hear what Rude Boy Kyle thinks of it, but to me, it always seems like when you as a team, you start playing defense hockey, like, we have the lead, guys, let's just play defense, and we're not really going to try to score, we're just going to try to kill the time. It always seems like that comes back to bite you in the butt. Mm-hmm. I have watched more teams lose because they're like, we're going to play defense now, and they stop trying. And I think once you let that momentum go of trying to score, I think you just, it's hard to get it back. Mm-hmm. That's my take. So I don't know if you've ever noticed a similar trend.
Yeah, the dump and change mentality is something that I despise. Hate that. Dump the puck into the end, so then you don't ice it, and then get off the ice, get on the bench. Not a fan. It's boring hockey. Go out, at least have one person each shift, try and take it in, try and squeeze something in, get a shot, do something. Nope, just dump it. Terrible. The All-Star game was also stupid. I did not like that game. I turned that game off. And the way that they're doing the All-Star game for the past, I think, 6 or 7 years, except for 2020 when they didn't have it, is they do 3-on-3 hockey, and there's 4 of the subdivisions or regions, I guess, whatever you want to call them. I'm sure that there's the actual term, but they face off in a bracket tournament where they play 2 periods of hockey, and then the winner of those first 2 games moves on to the quote-unquote championship game and plays another 2 periods of hockey, 3-on-3. And I thought we had a chance this year because Mikko Rantanen, Cale Makar, Nate Landeskog. Landeskog's not out. Nathan McKinnon is what I was trying to say. Gabe Landeskog. It's been a long week. So the 3 of them were on the same team, obviously. And aside from that, they put them on the same line. So they were literally saying, here come the Avalanche with the puck. And did a decent amount of the scoring in the first game. And then the second game for the championship, whoop, 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 whoop. That's
disappointing. I hear that there's that people weren't really happy or impressed with the skills contest this year.
Yeah, I didn't get to see it. But Cale Makar blew a tire basically going on the speed competition, so he was eliminated. So all around, and I think, truthfully, it's because they were wearing those stupid retro jerseys this year, and our Avalanche jersey this year looks terrible. So that's probably why everything sucked.
I remember people talking about that it didn't go well, and people were like unimpressed and leaving and those sorts of things. So
I read some comments on some threads on the NHL Facebook page, and a bunch of people were saying, I brought my kid. We were super excited, and we found more excitement waiting in line for the popcorn at the vending machine or vending stands and stuff like that. Like, okay, that is a good reason for me to not go.
That's kind of sad, because you would think that the skills competition would be a lot of fun and an easy sell for, hey, come with your family and such, but
Mhm.
it's amazing to see. It kind of makes me laugh because what was the coach? Was it Tortorella who said, he really didn't care about the All-Star game? I think it was. We talked about it on the show, but it just kind of makes it seem like, well, he's got it right. Clearly.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't have a lot of memories watching the All-Star game. From year, I remember last year. I really enjoyed last year's, partially because it was in Vegas, and it involved Kadri when he was with the Avalanche and McKinnon and Cale Makar, but also the Lamoureux were involved with it as well, and so that was not a personal tie, but a local tie to the game. And so I appreciated that. But going back and thinking how they potentially did it before, when the All-Star games were just mixing up the players. So you could even be on the same main team, but then you were playing against your teammate. That sounds a little bit more interesting. Where it's all mixed up. And I don't know if they ever did that, but I thought it was a little bit different, where there was the All-Star game, where there was a game, 3 periods, basically a full hockey game. And it was just the smattering of players.
It would be nice to see them do that. It'd be nice if the Winter Classic was that, truthfully, because everybody likes the Winter Classic. An excellent venue to do something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But
for me, my final piece of commentary on that is I heard, and I don't remember if it was Kevin Weeks who said it or which of the other commentators it was, or they all kind of agreed. But I agree in the statement, the All-Star game should be after the Stanley Cup is given out. End of the season. Make it the very last thing of the year. You don't have to worry about getting tired, hurting yourself, whatever the case is. And then it's kind of the WrestleMania for hockey. The year is over with. Here's the All-Star game. These are all of the best players. And then you can even, you wouldn't really want to push it off, I guess, because they give the awards out at the Stanley Cup celebration. But that's kind of where I'm going with it, right? Like the week after the final game. And even if it's finished in 4 games, okay, so then it's 2 weeks after, because you have that extra week, right, for a game 7. Make it that Friday, Saturday. There it is. Skills competition Friday night. Saturday is the actual All-Star game, and make it a game.
That's what they do with football. The Pro Bowl happens after the Super Bowl. Well, they just fly the players out to Hawaii, and they don't get into a full it's still not a super competitive game. It's just kind of fun to see like the best of the best, or people that you don't normally get to see line up, or things like that. They even did, I know, one year, one of the players for a play actually switched teams. He was a center, and he switched because I think it was Favre was on the other team, and they had played together like on the Packers years and years before, and like a good chunk of their career. And Favre was on his way out, and this guy was on his way out. So they, for one play, the center went over and played on the other team just so that he could hike the ball to Favre one last time. And just have a moment, and it's like, there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. I do remember when they would mic up the players, and not just in the sense of, yep, they have a microphone on, and then we're going to check in with them. It was literally as they're playing. I remember them talking with Elliott, I think is his last name. The used to be the goalie for St. Louis, and he's having, like, they're on the other end of the ice, and he's having a conversation with the commentators, and the play suddenly turns around, and they're coming down the ice. He's like, "Oh, hold on, guys, I'm busy." And, you know, like in the middle of it, makes a save, and he's like, "Oh, that was close. Oh man, thanks, guys. What was the question?" Just real, like, bringing you into the game, and that I thought was hilarious, because, you know, they're talking to the players while they're on the ice. Like, it wasn't such a serious game. You can see that they can have some fun with it too.
Yeah, well, it's fun when you get to see the players have fun with the game. No, it is interesting. I didn't watch any of it, but I know I had heard those bits of commentary. Oh, Kidder, I'm going to be brave tonight. I'm still assembling models.
Oh no.
Yeah, I haven't glued myself to myself yet, but I have another one of these Godzilla figures. And if you recall, the last time I assembled one of these, I ended up bleeding.
Mm-hmm.
So wish me luck. I haven't drank nearly as much this time around. So.
Oh no! There goes Tokyo. Go Godzilla.
More like, oh no, there goes Howard's thumb. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes.
You don't need that anyway.
Just remember, ladies and gentlemen, always cut towards your spouse.
Howard Blues makes his own recommendations and does not reflect the views and or opinions of the Mark Kidder and or Beer Blues and BS.
Actually, Kidder, that one comes from my brother-in-law, and by that I mean the brother-in-law I like.
Mm.
Yeah. See, I'm gonna have the same problem, Kidder. See that gap right in there? It's because the leg. Oh well, maybe I got it. Oh, good. Maybe I won't have to trim it. Yeah, I might on this other side. Yeah, we might be living a little dangerously here in a bit.
Wonderful.
Yeah, wonderful. So, Kidder, I know you're enjoying some nice whiskey.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
yes,
the top notch whiskey. But let us move down from the top shelf to the frat boy special. I don't know if you've heard about this story, Kidder. But Fireball is being sued. Have you heard about this story?
I think that I have, but I don't want to ruin whatever you might be setting up.
Okay. Well, Kidder, I heard about this story this week, and I was like, oh, we got to talk about this. So, Kidder, you know how, like, you go in the liquor store and they have that section of, like, the little bottles?
Yeah, the shooters.
Yeah, and they're like 99 cents, maybe $1, maybe a little bit more if you're going for the...
This is a recession there, Jaco. They're like $4 now.
You know what? Okay. Howard's awkward confessions as I point a knife towards the camera. I've never actually bought one of those shooters. Ever. So.
I swear that we had at some point because we wanted to try something and we didn't want to buy a whole bottle of it.
Nope, you're thinking of somebody else you lived with. That wasn't me.
Okay.
Anyway, yes, Kidder, Fireball is being sued because if you actually get the little shooter of Fireball and you read the label closely, you will see that it says Fireball Cinnamon, but is missing something from the true label, which is the whiskey part. And it has been confirmed there is no whiskey in those shooters.
Perfect.
They are actually flavored to taste like whiskey, but there's no actual whiskey in them. And so some folks have brought a class action lawsuit against Fireball for false advertising and marketing.
That's how it goes.
Yeah.
And that's why we give you what we say.
Yeah.
And I was aware of this. I remember seeing that article, class action lawsuit. And I agree. We needed to talk about it because whiskey is delicious. Fireball.
You know, I can't say that I've honestly had Fireball.
You're not really missing a whole lot. I mean,
I didn't think I was, I don't know. It never struck me as like, this is a high quality whiskey. It seemed more like the thing that people got when they went out to places like Level 10 or
level 10's the classy place. You're thinking of like Gillies or whatever it's called.
Yes. Yes.
Because that's what you would be doing shots or even Bucks.
Listen,
rest in peace.
Also, Kidder, I didn't really tend to visit those places. So I think I was in Bucks maybe 2 or 3 times. And it was because it was people's birthday and they wanted to go to Bucks. I think I was in Gillies like once.
Yep. Yeah.
And it was so stinking loud I couldn't hear anything. And
yep.
I
was in there a few times, and I'm happy to say that I made it in and out each time without getting stabbed. So there's that. As a side note, when Puddle of Mud was in Grand Forks, and I'm trying to remember who they were there with. I want to say it was Nickelback. Apparently, and I have to say apparently because the story was referred to me from someone who was there and witnessed this, but Wes Scantlin, lead singer for Puddle of Mud, and some of the other band members after the show went downtown Grand Forks and stopped at Gillies. And apparently some guy got into it with Wes about something or bumped into him, whatever the case was. Apparently, Wes shoved him down to the ground or partially knocked him out or something. Again, this is a good 15 years ago and referred to me from other people. But again, dude is knocked on the ground, and apparently Wes Scantlin unzipped his pants, started peeing on the guy, and said, "Ha, look, puddle of piss."
Yeah, that just sounds a bit too urban legendy for the old Howard truth meter.
Well, I mean, it doesn't have to pass the smell test, thankfully. So, but I was told that, I want to say a day or two after the concert. And the unfortunate thing is that I was not there to witness it. The fortunate thing, I was not there to witness it.
Nice save. Because when you said the first part, I'm like, do you really want to watch a guy pee on a guy? Kidder, I'm starting to get a little worried about you.
Come on, I'm not R. Kelly.
Wow, an R. Kelly joke on the show.
Well, somebody has to make a timely reference.
Yeah.
I do have to say that I had higher hopes. You remember O'Reilly's, which I think is still there, but it was attached to level 10.
Yes, in fact, when I was trying to think of the name of Gillies before settling on level 10, I thought that there was a place called O'Reilly's, but then I was like, no, that seems so stupid of a name. But Now that you say it, yeah,
we went there together once, hoping that it would be our downtown neighborhood tavern. And it kind of was, except for the, tin roofs and obnoxious people.
I mean, I didn't mind the tin roofs. I mean, I like a good tin roof.
Right. But I mean, with all the people in there, it was loud.
Well, that's true.
Yeah, it was loud. And then we couldn't get a drink right away. And then we were like, if this was our neighborhood pub, we'd have a drink in our hand already. We'd have a frosty pint. Yeah.
Yeah. We never did really find that neighborhood pub.
Well, when we make our first million off of this show, maybe we'll have to open one.
I don't necessarily want to run a pub. I mean, running a bar is like more commitment, and I already have enough commitment just trying to keep this podcast afloat with all the uploads and editing and all that. I don't need to try and run a bar on top of it. I've seen enough bar rescue. I'd be one of those guys that John Tappert yells at about, "You're never here at your bar." And I'd be like, I know.
It's because I have a regular job.
I got kids.
Yeah. And then you point to the shirt hanging on the wall because we couldn't afford to make a poster out of it.
Yeah.
Although,
go ahead.
That would be the bar. That would be a great way for us to actually fund doing this show.
I mean, if you can make it successful, but I think a bar, you have to put your heart and soul in to have a decent bar.
Crap. We don't have either of those. So
that's very much true, Kidder. So, but no, we haven't ever really found that that like pub. Like we tried with Blarney Stone, but I hate trying to park downtown.
Yeah.
Like enough where it's just like I got really tired of Blarney very quickly for that reason. Which is sad because like downtown is like the perfect spot because I live up here on the north end. You're down on the south end. Downtown's kind of in the middle.
Downtown. Yep.
It would be like the perfect spot to like meet on a Friday night and
do a podcast.
Have a beer, things like that. But I hate trying to find parking around there. I feel like unless you go to the parking ramps, you end up circling the block like 4 or 5 times. And that's more hassle than I want just to drink.
Yeah. We'll say last Saturday, I met up with JS Gunslinger at Blarney, and we sat at the rail. Plenty of spaces open. I even almost parked in front of the door out front. Very, very good. Good experience. Good conversation. Had some laughs. Good stuff. Hopefully JS Gunslinger will join us next week. You were busy. You got kids.
I still would appreciate the invite. I mean, I'll turn you down, but at least it's like, I was at least wanted.
You son of a bitch.
Well, listen, I got kids, man. They are a time commitment. I mean, I love my kids. They're awesome.
Mr. Hey, you should send me an invite so then I can say no.
Listen, it's just the they at least they thought of me. They wanted me to come out. I am.
We thought about you. We laughed at stuff that you've done.
See, edit. Yeah,
End this show.
Well, that's that is part of my role on this show is comic relief.
All right.
Listen, I figure if you're going to be on a show and put it out to the world, you're just going to have to realize you're going to make mistakes. You're sometimes going to be the butt of the joke. But if I can make somebody laugh for a little bit, yeah. I'm not one of those egotistical like YouTubers who's like, I always got to look good in every shot. I mean, I kid you not, Kidder, to, you know, if one of these days this gets big enough and somebody comes back and goes, you know, to me, hey, I remember the time you glued your fingers to your own hand 3 times in a night. Like, yes, that was funny. That did happen.
I was there for it.
I mean, it was funny. I told you that I made a short of it, and I'm not gonna lie, Kidder, I was laughing at it as I was doing it because I'm like, oh, this is so ridiculous.
Yeah.
But you know, you can't laugh at yourself, you know.
Speaking of maybe not laughing, hopefully not, but you brought these down.
Hey, how did you get those, Kidder? Because I got them right here.
Well, son of a bitch. It's weird how things like that work out.
Yeah, although yours is clearly open, mine is clearly not.
I just ripped the tab because I was getting excited, and then I was like, wait, I should have done that on camera.
That makes you feel better, Kidder. I just did mine off camera.
So there, wow. So thanks to Jake there, he found these, and I'm I'm excited and not at the same time because they're Jack Link's brand pork strips, spicy dill pickle, and they are the Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 theme there. But look at that, a whole 9 grams of protein. And there's 3 servings in this, which means that there's 240 calories. And it's a good thing I haven't had dinner yet tonight. So this might do. Maybe. There's, let's see here, 2.85 ounces, and it's 100% pork. Pork, water, sugar, salt, less than 2% of monosodium glutamate, spices, hydrolyzed corn protein flavors, pineapple powder, lactic acid, turmeric extract, and sodium nitrate. Okay.
It's got quite the smell to it.
Yeah.
And for the audience's sake, I picked these up at Walmart because I saw them. And I'm like, spicy dill pickle jerky? That sounds like something we got to try. And I picked them up for the Royal Rumble, but if you've been watching, you know I wasn't able to make it to the Royal Rumble. But I gave Kidder his pack so we could try these and give him on the show. So I see Kidder looks like he's taking a bite, or at least he's giving it a smell.
I've been trying to really dissect the scent of these. It's like a hint of bacon, burnt brown sugar, like a dill sprig, and maybe salt. Well. Very interesting taste to them.
Yeah.
You got the dill. I like that it's a lot of dill.
Yeah.
Oh, just a little bit of spice.
Not exactly what I would have imagined that tasting like, Kidder.
You know,
Has just a little bit of a like sweet taste that just seems a little off.
yeah. Now for your moment of ASMR.
Kidder, we're going to need a graphic for that.
I take it back. Well, thanks, there, Howie Blues.
Yeah, what would you give it as a rating, Kidder? Out of our, classic triple B out of 5 rating scale.
Overall, the flavor, it's there. Not too bad. And it's not quite what I expected. When they put spicy on it, I don't feel that it's spicy. It's more of a zing. Like a light heat. And I've, I don't know, eaten 6 pieces already. Maybe a 2.5. Give it a nice middle of the road rating.
That's fair. Actually, I was thinking about a 2.5 myself. If on a shelf with other jerky, I think there are different flavors I would choose before this.
Yeah.
But it's not like terrible, But not my favorite jerky ever, but it's different. It's interesting. It was at least worth the experiment. And it is making me want to drink, Kidder. I don't know if you're going to do a round 2. I know you're fighting a bit of a bug, but I'm up for round 2 of what's on tap.
I do. I was going to tease it earlier, and then I forgot. But I do have something else to review.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
But now I'm hungry.
Well, while you chomp down on that jerky, allow me to do what's on tap round 2.
Woo!
I got 4 words, Kidder, that should never appear on a can, but they appear on this one. They are
India Pale Ale time extra.
No. And truthfully, it's like 3 words in an acronym. But the words are New Belgium and Citrus IPA. That's right. I have one of these citrus rescues. It's a citrus IPA. They partnered with Imperfect Foods. So it's brewed with perfectly good but imperfect looking fruit. Says on here, oh, hey, Future Howard, key up that rim shot. Aren't you glad this fruit didn't go to waste? Yeah. There have been better puns on the show from us. Citrus Rescue. It's an India Pale Ale with orange juice, orange peel, and natural flavors. It is 6.5% alcohol by her volume. And, it's, of course, a New Belgium, which means, who needs tasting notes? So, Kidder, I believe you've had one of these on the show.
Yes, sir.
And, I can't remember what you said about it, but knowing that it's an IPA, you probably hated it. But it's definitely got an orange scent to it. Okay, now it might be the fact that I'm, this is chasing that spicy dill pickle jerky. But it's not too bad. I'm getting a lot of the orange scent and, not scent, a lot of the orange flavor. There we go. Use the right sentence, Howard. Not a lot of the bitter IPA. I don't know if that's because my mouth is a little on fire from the jerky, so it's like diminishing like the bitterness of the IPA. So it's, yeah, it's not bad. For fruit and beer, it's not bad. I'd probably still rate this maybe like a 2.52, but it's not bad. I'll drink it. So There you go. Hey, what's on tap? Round 2 from Howard.
For me, it was back at episode 91. And I said, it's like orange juice with a side of pine.
Yes, I do remember that review. That's a very Kidder review.
I do my best. Thank you.
Anybody
Sometimes they
can tell
just
you
flow
it's an
naturally.
IPA. Only Kidder will tell you it's an IPA by saying it's orange juice with a side of pine. Yes.
Well, after all, I would like a water filled with hops and grain, malt, that sort of thing. Okay, I better get in here. And this is new. How new is it? It's so new. It's barely not new. Have you heard of this controversy? Howard Blues.
I have not heard of that controversy, but I have seen that can before, Kidder.
It's brand new. Pepsi Cola Company has killed Sierra Mist. Sierra Mist is dead. It is gone. It's done. When the supply is out, it gone forever. Pepsi wants to cut into the Sprite business on the Coca-Cola bottling company side of things, and so therefore they've created a crisp, clear burst of lemon lime flavor named Starry. Yes, Starry. I don't quite know what makes that lemon lime-y, but as you can see, the can is very colorful with the yellow and green for the lemon lime. But this is their version of the lemon lime flavored soda, caffeine free, and carbonated water and high fructose corn syrup. So there's that. First saw this last weekend at the store, so I knew I had to get some, and I knew I had to review it on the show because, well, rest in peace, Sierra Mist. Interestingly enough, it smells like 7-Up. I mean, it should be very close to Sprite, 7-Up, Sierra Mist, but and similar to Sierra Mist. I think it needs more bubbles. And there's kind of a syrupy aftertaste. I don't quite say this is an improvement. But I guess I'm generally not as big of a fan of the Pepsi Cola company as I am of the Coca-Cola company. Maybe that's kind of what I'm just used to. But it's a lemon lime soda. Honestly, it almost tastes like the generic brand that you would get at the store. Yeah. Underwhelming.
You know, Kidder, I'll just admit it. I thought about making this a hot take, but I'll just admit it because I don't think it's that hot. Never been a fan of Sierra Mist. So,
Yeah, I mean, I'll drink it if I have to. I prefer Sprite much more. Even looking in here, there just aren't that many bubbles. It's not that carbonated. So the bubbles are part of what does it.
Here, I was thinking you were going to say that, I'll drink a Sierra Mist if I have something to mix with it.
No, I mean, if I'm at one of those places that serves Pepsi products and it's too late, I need to go to sleep at some point, I won't order a Mountain Dew like I normally would. I would get a Sierra Mist. But that's the only reason why I would order. Because if I'm going to a convenience store picking out a bottle of soda, I go right to the Coke section. It's like Coke or Sprite, probably a Coke. Maybe a Barks root beer. Because Barks has bite. The only root beer with caffeine in it.
Yeah. Excuse me. While I was sick, Kidder, I spent a little bit of time kind of exploring the wide world of like reels and shorts while I was laying in bed. Since we're trying to create some of our own, and I just kind of wanted to see, what was out there, in that realm. And I ended up following I didn't follow them, but like I kept running into this one. It's for a place called Shelby's. It's in Canada, and the guy makes shawarma poutine. Are you familiar with poutine?
Yes. Used to get it in Grand Forks.
This guy, he has a very thick Middle Eastern accent, but he's just hilarious as he is making this like poutine for people, and like it's kind of funny. He disregards people's things. Like he'll ask you, like, do you want the regular garlic or the spicy garlic? And people are almost always like, well, I'll have the regular garlic. I'll give you the spicy, and he throws it in. And but he ends everyone with, and don't forget the Pepsi. But which is why I thought of it. But man, I don't know where this Shelby's place is in Canada, but I kind of want to find it because after watching him like make these big like bowls of shawarma poutine, I'm like, I want to try that. I don't want to, that looks good. Kind of want to taste it. So might have to look that up so that if I ever go to Canada, I know where I need to go. Yeah.
Canada, eh?
Yeah, Canada.
Yes, sir. We were going for some French fries and gravy, sir. Almost made it.
I got a great Canada story for you, Kidder.
Uh-oh.
I don't know if you ever. So when I was at UND in the ed program, there was a kid who was in the program with us, and he had this story of he and some buddies, they wanted to go to Canada because, of course, the drinking age in Canada is lower. So they were going to go up to drink. So they do what a lot of UND students do. They load up their car and they head for Canada on the weekend. They're going to go up to like Winnipeg and drink. And they're approaching the border crossing, and they realize, man, we don't really have a great story for crossing the border, And they start to panic because they're afraid that if they say that they're going up to Canada to drink, that they're not going to get let into the country. So in their panic, when they get to the actual border crossing, and the border agent's like, so what brings you to Canada? the guy behind them was like, "Well, we're going up to Winnipeg for an art museum." Car with like 5 dudes in it going to Canada for an art museum. And the custom agent getting him, but he's like, "Is that really why you're going there?" "Oh yeah, we're going up to a modern art museum in Winnipeg. Yeah." Custom agent finally leans in and goes, "Guys, listen. If you're going up to Canada to drink, just say you're going up to Canada to drink. It's a far better idea than trying to lie to a Border Patrol agent." "Okay, we're going up to drink." "All right. Welcome to Canada." So, just a great life lesson to our listeners out there. Don't lie about why you're trying to get into the country. Kidder, I have to ask. You're a fan of law enforcement TV shows.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever seen? I know it's on Facebook Watch. I don't know if it's on YouTube, but have you ever seen Fridays with Frank?
I think I've seen one of his episodes. Yes,
I've been watching some of that, Kidder.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty enjoyable. For the audience who doesn't know, he's Deputy Frank. How does he pronounce his last name? Schloop. One of those. He's with the Pinal County Sheriff's Department, and he does traffic enforcement
in Pinal County, Arizona.
Yeah, and it's actually entertaining to watch because it really does give you an idea of what it's like to be a cop enforcing traffic, and he does a pretty good job of explaining like all of his decisions and why he's giving a certain ticket. And he's got a pretty good sense of humor, so it's been interesting to watch.
Didn't he have a video where he went up to the car that he stopped, or one shift he had to wear some giant hat or something ridiculous? I don't remember. Good story.
Yeah. It was interesting. He did talk about, because he did one where the sheriff actually rode along with him when they were asking questions. The sheriff was asking questions that they had gotten from viewers. And one of them was, "How are you allowed to, get away with saying some of these things to the people? I'd get fired in my department if I said anything like that to somebody I'd pulled over." That was
what
just kind of
did Sheriff Lamb have to say?
Sheriff Lamb was the one asking what Frank said, we have great leadership, with Sheriff Lamb, and it's as long as we're not being like insulting or degrading, we're just trying to show that we're real people too, and we're not just big bad mean people. It was interesting.
It's true. It's good.
Kidder, I had an interesting thought tonight. Have you and this brings up a very good a segment that we just got to do more of these. It's our Don't Do This segment.
Oh, I thought you were going to say that it's time that Howard starts playing flashing lights.
No, because this is why Howard probably shouldn't play flashing lights, and I'm sure I will take some flack from you for it.
Don't do this.
Kidder, have you ever gone into Papa Murphy's to do a pizza pickup? Like you order it online and you're just going in, picking it up, taking it home?
No, I go in there and I make sure that they make it right. I watch them.
Okay, so we'll dive into Kidder's trust issues some other episode.
Good luck with that.
Here's the thing: if you ever order it online and go in and pick it up, the way that system works, at least at the Papa Murphy's up north, and this is why I say don't do this, because don't do it. The way that they have it set up is as they make the pizzas, as they come in and they make the pizza, they then have a giant shelf and rack off to one side where they put it with a receipt with the names on it. Kidder, there's no check-in process. There's no check process. You just walk in, find your receipt with your name, grab your pizza, and walk out. And me being the person that I am, not that I'm a criminal mastermind, but I couldn't help tonight, like, because it was a busy place. But I'm like, nobody's paying attention to me. It's like, I could have walked in, taken, there's a stack of like 3 pizzas there. I could have just grabbed that off and just walked out the door and nobody would have stopped me. I could have had free pizza if I wanted.
Uh-huh.
So, not the best system, maybe? I don't know.
Surprisingly, that's how a lot of places are for the mobile dining, where the services, come pick up the food and then go deliver it. That's how a lot of them are.
Yeah, but at least you have to like give a name. You have to say, like order for Howard. No, you don't have to say anything. Really?
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
There's a handful of restaurants that I know that do that. They put them on a table, and basically the person comes in, whether you order it takeout or it's a food delivery service, and it's sitting there. Has the names on the bag or whatever, but they'll have to grab it and then go. And typically there is no one standing there watching. Hey, is that your order? Do you have a confirmation number, or can you show me a receipt or something? Nope. Grab the bag, turn around, walk out.
I gotta imagine that there are people who do though, just walk in and just grab a bag and walk out.
Mm-hmm.
Sure. And now I'm very curious about like how many of these orders actually, like how many times do the staff have to deal with, hey, my bag isn't here, my order isn't here, like it should be, but it's not. Because somebody has done that. I'm now curious. I need some stats on that.
Howard's going to do some research on his own time.
No, Howard is hoping that by me saying I need some stats on this, that some helpful viewer goes, hey, Howard, I work for law enforcement. I can answer that question for you.
Oh,
there's not many calls we get about it.
I don't think there are that many calls, but maybe the stat man himself, the local geek, has a pulse. Maybe he's got a pulse on this topic. He has secret connections. Something. I could see it happening.
Maybe. But yeah, I just kind of wondered that, because it's like, it would be so easy to do. Not that I am advocating stealing people's food, but there's part of me that looks at it and goes, you just have to kind of grab it and go.
Yeah, kind of annoying. You all right over there?
Yeah, I just finished another bottle of super glue, so I have to reach into the stash. And
I thought you stabbed your thumb again or something.
No. I'm not getting as many models done tonight, Kidder, as I traditionally do, but I've kind of done all of the small models. So I'm kind of into the big guys. So that just takes longer because tends to be more pieces, but I have things like this really kind of cool Asian dragon that I'm working on. I just need to glue his front feet down. Here's the Demogorgon. So, they're coming together, but they take a little bit longer to do and get placed. So, but making progress. So
glad to hear that you're progressing.
Yeah, I know. I want to get them done because I have recorded a large chunk of me doing this process, and the hope is to produce a Howard's Cave of Wonder about it. But I kind of want to get them all done so I can do the next kind of shot that I want to do, or at least talking segment that I want to do. So I'm trying to get them all done. I mean, I could fake it and be like, well, yeah, look, I've done them all, and not really have done them all, but we go for some realism here on the old Triple B.
Yeah, something like that.
And gosh, Kidder, we've almost been going for, I mean, like an hour and 15 minutes.
He's doing math.
I'll try to see the clock. Hour and 15 minutes before I don't know if you can see my one set of fingers there, Kidder, but they're
Can't take you anywhere.
you just can't trust me to drink and glue. I mean, this is the thing. I'm learning very quickly that assembling miniatures and using glue and drinking it doesn't work for me, Kidder. Yeah, so I got a couple of fingers glued together. So if you had an hour and 15 minutes or so in the old pool, there you go. You're the big winner for this week.
Speaking of pools, who do you got for the game this weekend?
I don't know yet. When it comes to the Super Bowl, my wife and I we bet every year on the game. And the way that we bet on it is she chooses what team she wants and I get the other team. Because back like when we lived in Montana, I used to watch a little bit more football than I do these days. So I would at least have an idea of like, well, these guys are good. And so I would like, if I were to pick every time, I probably would win it. But so that's how we've always done it. She gets to pick, and then I get the other team. So we haven't decided on the bet yet. So I have a little bit of time. So who do you got?
I don't even know who's in it.
The Kansas City Chiefs and the Philadelphia Eagles, I believe.
Go the Chiefs.
That's right. You heard it all football fans. If you're waiting for an expert analysis and opinion about who to choose in the Super Bowl, you just got it. Kidder's telling you to bet it all on the Chiefs. I'd also like to mention that the lawyers for the Triple B would like us to say that, gamble at your own risk, and we are by no means experts.
And the hosts of this show don't have any money.
Correct. Spent it all on miniatures and cheap beer.
Yeah. Sometimes it's cheap beer. However, if KC did pull it off, congratulations, KC, you did it. I picked correctly. And if it went the other way, congratulations, Philadelphia Eagles. You pulled it off. You really did a great job there without Carson Wentz. There's my extent of football knowledge. You're welcome. Expert analysis. And we can edit it appropriately because this was the Super Duper Bowl's been over for 2 weeks at this point, almost.
Yes, but we both know Future Howard's not going to edit it. He's going to leave that in there because that's just too funny. That is how things go. That's what you get for, being comedic.
That would be great if I predicted things and then it worked out. But that's also why I don't gamble, because if I gamble, it's like predicting, and then I'm wrong, and then I lose. I don't want to lose money. There's your DraftKings screwy finish of the night.
I just think this is just making like an argument, Kidder, that we need to, in year 3 of the podcast, we need to introduce a new segment where you just make random predictions about things. And we just see, how many you get right, just random predictions,
It's going to snow before next year.
That's too easy. Too easy.
No, it has to be wide open. Otherwise, no, I'm not going to do it. We're not going to make a graphic for it. Nothing. Not going to happen.
Well, I'm just saying, like, it loses some of the comedic, effect if you go for that easy. I want your like most outlandish predictions,
Well, I got to warm up, right?
Yeah.
You don't run a marathon without stretching a little bit first, right?
Yeah. I mean, I'm just that's what I'm thinking. We just need your like most outlandish predictions, and then if you ever get one right, we know that the end of the world is happening.
Yeah, that's about 8 months away.
You heard it here first, folks.
Did your did your advent calendar of the end of the world happening in October come true? Well, congratulations. You win what's left.
Hey, Kidder, before we started the show, you were working on the old Instagram page. And
Yep.
I don't know if you ventured much into our meta business stuff, but Kidder, your wildest dreams have come true. Somebody wants to sponsor us.
Really?
Yeah. We got an offer. And I know we probably shouldn't discuss business on the show, but it's too good, Kidder. This jewelry company is offering us, this great opportunity. They want us to promo some of their jewelry. I think that this is very much a legitimate offer, and we should consider it.
Sure.
They said in their message, that we would be perfect for displaying their jewelry on our Instagram. But we got to act now because there's only like 6 spots available for this.
Let's do it.
All right. In all seriousness, yes, we did get that offer, and no, we're not actually going to do it because it's clearly a scam. But
oh man, here I was hoping that I could get some sweet bling.
You could give it to the missus. Go, see, honey, this job's already paying off.
Yeah, I mean, eventually, but I got to display it first as part of the contractual obligation. Be all like, yo, check it out. Go to insert jewelry, insert blank.com for jewelry. Yo.
We'd have to become like the quadruple B. Beer, blues, BS, and bling.
Sounds like a mouthful.
That's true. Oh, gosh, somebody else did the triple B here recently. What was that?
Maxwell Jacob Friedman.
No, he did that one. And we have that. It's in our opening. But somebody else I was watching, and they did it, and they hit the triple B, and I'm like, stop it. It's ours. God, where was that? Oh, that's going to cause me to rack my brain for a bit. But it was something not related to AEW, but somebody was going through and they, this and this and this. Yeah, we could be the triple B. I'm like, stop it. But no.
We are looking for more followers, and we are looking for sponsors. So if you'd like to help us monetize this and keep the show rolling in the right direction, just slide into our DMs right here for the show. Please. Appreciate it. Or just buy us a beer. You could do that too. beerbluesbs.com. Click buy us a beer. You can buy us 1, 2, 6, 12, 24, a keg, whatever those kegs go for these days. Just, please help us. Sharing is caring. And content. It's content.
This Asian dragon just does not want to fully glue down. It's starting to get a little annoyed. I'm trying to think what else has been going on.
Well, I can tell you that I watched 2 movies since we last discussed things. If you want to do some movie review.
Yeah, I might even be able to add a movie in. I did watch a movie.
Wow. So first movie we watched was The Man from Toronto. Woody Harrelson and Kevin Hart. Netflix movie. If you've seen a Kevin Hart movie, you've seen that. It was okay. Next movie, Black Panther, Wakanda Forever. It was all right. The Marvel movie aspect of it made it, good. For the effects, good visualization, good set. I really like how they have the, imagination. Like Wakanda looks beautiful. The futuristic nature of the city and everything. Not impressed with the movie. Number 1, 2 hours, 45 minutes. Number 2, and 3 and 4 and 5 have issues with the movie and part of the plot and things they do in the movie. And I'll leave it at that. Howard.
Yeah, I don't know about you, Kidder. There's been very little of the current run of the Marvel movies that have been ooh, I got to go see. Like Doctor Strange, I do want to check out. That would be the top of my priorities. Maybe Thor, but I don't know. There's not the same. Or at least I'm not having the same excitement for them as when they were first coming out, and there was the tease of the Avengers movie. So
I would say new Guardians Volume 3 will be out this summer. And that'll be the last of the Guardians of the Galaxy with the current iteration.
Which is why I'm not excited about it. If that makes sense. It kind of feels like all of the heroes that you've now come to love are leaving, and it's like we're scraping the bottom of the barrel a bit. I say this because Simon just wrapped up their third Marvel United Kickstarter, and there were some good characters that they were finally able to bring to the game, but there were a lot that I was like, who? Never heard of this guy. It's you're kind of scraping a little bit at the who do we have left that we could throw out there? Such.
Yep.
So, yeah.
And I think the primary reason for that being the last Guardians of the Galaxy is it James Gunn directing those?
Yep.
Leaving the Marvel property for DC.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
so
he's the new CEO of the DC universe, basically.
Well, there you go.
He's in charge of all the TV, the animation, and the movies, and he's planning on kind of keeping casts the same. So the actor who ends up playing Batman in the movie will be the same actor who plays it in the TV shows, who then voices it for the animation. That's his goal. He actually put out his the first list of what they're producing. I don't know if you checked it out, but there wasn't a lot that excited me on the list.
No, I'm generally not interested in the DC world. I guess Wonder Woman was probably the most interesting, and then Peacemaker. Even the what was that? The movie that they had to remake because it was so bad and named it the same thing, so then people would forget about the first one. The hell is that? Peacemaker was in the second version.
Oh, Suicide Squad.
Yes, thank you. First one, I don't know. I'm just not a fan of the DC world of things. And
yeah, I think DC has so far tried to be a lot darker and grittier, and I don't know if that's really worked for them as well. Whereas Marvel doesn't tend to be dark and gritty; they tend to be more kind of light and campy, almost in a sense. Yeah, we'll see. And I've never been a huge DC fan. I mean, I like Batman. It's probably the most of the comics that I own are Batman. But like none of the other characters really have screamed at me or been like, oh, I got to read so-and-so. It's like, I read Batman and don't care about Superman, don't care about Wonder Woman, don't care about Green Lantern, or they don't interest me as characters. That's just how I've always kind of been. So, anyway, the movie that I watched, Kidder, it's an oldie but a goodie, and it was a rewatch for me, but I hadn't watched it since, gosh, it's been ages. But I actually sat down and I rewatched Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace, here recently.
And why?
Because I could. Been a while since I watched a Star Wars movie. Thinking about kind of rewatching them again. And I enjoyed it. There are some parts of it that, like, now kind of watching through, I'm like, yeah, not necessarily the best storytelling throughout the whole thing, but it's not bad. It's not terrible. So, but so we'll see. Maybe I'll watch the Attack of the Clones next. Continue through. Yeah. Just enjoying. Just watching some Star Wars. Hoping to one day get Junior excited about Star Wars. I got to get him like a Star Wars book though, because right now he just keeps. We've been reading a lot of the that stupid Star Trek book that we did in episode 3.
You might actually learn something.
Yeah, it's okay. It's not his favorite. He's more into the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles book, but which I'm okay with. Although he's very particular, like he has assigned each of us our favorite turtle, and you can't tell him different. So according to him, I have to like Leonardo. I cannot like Donatello, who is traditionally my favorite. No, when I say, no, Dad likes purple, he goes, no, Dad liked blue. Ari liked purple. But that's toddler logic for you. He's decided we can't all like the same turtle. So just a warning to you, kid, if you ever have a kid, be careful. Because they might tell you, like, I like Deep Space Nine, and you're not allowed to like Deep Space Nine. You like Voyager or Discovery.
Somebody's going to boarding school. Almost made you spit out your beer.
Almost.
Speaking of like shipping people off to boarding school or something like that, Local Geek is pretty afraid of next week's episode from the episode from now 2 weeks ago of killing off characters.
Oh, I didn't know he had said anything.
He was hoping that his character could be saved if he provided enough beer.
Oh, yeah.
Like, well, start sending it over and we'll reconsider.
That's it. Welcome to Triple B. we've decided to get more views. We've decided to eliminate characters at the same rate as Game of Thrones. Who will survive? We don't know. Who's your favorite character? They'll probably die first.
I don't have a reference point for that because I've never seen it. So it is what it is.
Game of Thrones, really what you need to know is it's a fantasy novel, and the author was not afraid to kill off characters. And so because he wasn't afraid to kill off characters, people got upset because, it's like, oh, I liked that character. Now he's dead. It's kind of just, that's the way it goes. That's really all you need to know. That doesn't surprise me. You've never really struck me as like a fan of fantasy.
I'm a huge fan of Trogdor.
Not fantasy, man. Not fantasy. That's comedy.
Is it though?
Yes. Yes.
I think it'd be fantasy because, he's burninating the peasants. Burninating all the people.
That doesn't necessarily make it fantasy. I mean, if anything, it's maybe closer to like horror.
I made a joke yesterday at work, and I've been trying to remember what it was all day because it was a quote from a movie after somebody said something. And my new coworker got it and started laughing hysterically. And I'm like, good. Somebody who gets the humor. Fantastic.
Don't you hate that when you forget like the punchline to a joke? My wife and I have for, gosh, how long has it been now? It's got to be close to 12, 13 years. We've been trying to remember the punchline. I had made some stupid joke. It was about Who Hut. And it was done to kind of a rhythmic pattern, but it was Who Hut, You Hut, and then there was the punchline. And for like, I said it for maybe 2-3 weeks, and then like, it's gone. I've never been able to remember it. I've never been able to come up with anything close to what it was. And it has bugged my wife and I forever, for, as I said, like 12, 13 years, that there's this great Who Hut joke that we used to say. It made us laugh, and neither of us can remember it. That's some real pain right there.
How hot? Who hot? You hot? Me hot?
No.
Well,
no.
Grease the tracks a little.
Listen, man, I've tried. I think it's gone. I think it's lost to the ether.
Yeah.
At one time, there was a great Who Hut joke. Now it's gone.
Yeah. We'll say it happened twice yesterday, though, with that, because a different coworker said, well, I'm leaving because he had to go get set up for an event. And I said, you can't leave. All the plants are going to die. And he started hysterically laughing, going, oh, hold on. I know it. Propped his head against the wall for a second. Bill Murray. Yep. And Howard, do you remember which movie that's from?
No.
Stripes.
I can't say that I've actually seen Stripes.
Oh, love it. It's a great movie.
Yeah, I can't say that I've seen Stripes.
Love it. Right at the beginning of the movie.
I mean,
Murray comes back and his girlfriend is throwing everything out of their like third story apartment. And he comes in and it's like, what? And she's like, I'm leaving. Basically the, plant, she gives him a plant as she's leaving. And that's when he says, you can't leave. All the plants are going to die.
Kidder, as kind of a interesting event, there's been a lot of confessions on this episode. I am not the biggest Bill Murray fan. I was trying to think of like Bill Murray movies that I actually enjoy. And I'm struggling to come up with one.
Groundhog Day.
No, not a fan of Groundhog Day. Not a huge fan of Ghostbusters.
Caddyshack.
No, not even Caddyshack. And he's not even really the best part of Caddyshack. It's not to say that like he's not talented or that. There's not a lot of Bill Murray movies that I actually enjoy. I liked his appearance in Zombieland.
Mm-hmm.
That was pretty good. Yeah, I mean, I've even seen bits of him on Saturday Night Live, and there's not a lot of those that I really enjoyed.
If you say so.
I'm just saying, I can't think of a lot of Bill Murray movies that I really got a kick out of. Yeah, I know you're a big Ghostbusters fan. You're big enough that it bothered you that, you know, when you bought Ghostbusters 2 and it was still Ghostbusters in the DVD case, that it bugged you for a while.
Well, who does that? A sealed copy from the factory of Ghostbusters 2, and it's the first freaking movie. How do you screw that up?
Maybe it wasn't a screw up. Maybe it was sabotage. Maybe somebody at the factory said, Ghostbusters 2. The first one was good. The second one was terrible. You really just want the first Ghostbusters.
Yeah, the joke's on them, because if they thought the second one was bad, they should have seen the one that came out a couple years ago.
Afterlife?
No, the one before that.
Yeah, but that one fell under the problem of trying to... That one messed with people's nostalgia just too much.
I never saw it. Don't plan on seeing it. Fine. Doesn't exist.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. Like, because I know that there was some like discussion about, it's just people being like racist or misogynistic about it. But it's like when you start messing with people's nostalgia, you're going to run into that. People have those things that they like and that they remember, and when you ruin it or change it too drastically, people are happy about it. That's the way it goes.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, especially in these days with all of the reboots and such. I mean, it's amazing how many reboots just totally fail and bomb. And when you look at it, it's because they tried to, we tried to rewrite too much. We tried to make it have this political message. We swapped, characters around or changed it too much. It's like, well, no wonder this was terrible.
But that's what it is.
Yeah, I'm just kind of ready for Hollywood to get off the, we got to do another remake, or here's more remakes or sequels, or, I'd like some new stuff, please. Please, sir, can I have something new?
No.
Just a little something new? Something different? Something original?
Okay, you get a new Indiana Jones.
Yeah, I don't know how to feel about that.
Well, go see the movie, then let me know.
Cool. We'll see. I mean, it can't be as bad as Crystal Skull.
I mean, now that you've said it.
I know. I'm tempting fate. I gotta hope. Gotta hope that they go, we don't need to mess with Indiana Jones too much.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of wish that they would let some series just be done.
I think this is the ending that they wanted the first time.
Which I'd be fine with. I'm okay with there being an end to Indiana Jones. I thought The Last Crusade was a great ending to Indiana Jones. If people want more of the character, you know what? That's what video games and books were for. It didn't need Crystal Skull.
South Park summed it up just fine. I'll leave it at that.
I did not see the South Park.
Oh, they had a perfect take on Indiana Jones and the Crystal Skull.
Well, fill me in, man. Fill me in.
No, I can't say it on this episode. You just have to go watch it.
I don't have time to track down old episodes of South Park. I mean, you can at least tell me, like, hey, it's season 3, or give me at least a direction, man. You can't just go, South Park summed it up greatly on an episode, but I'm not going to tell you which one, man.
Well, the episode is called The China Problem. It's the 175th episode of the series, originally aired October 8th, 2008, the mid-season premiere for season 12.
I'll get around to watching that at some point, or you know what, I'll just find a synopsis of it. I'll ask that chat AI that everybody's been talking to. I had one of our site supervisors ask about their site to that thing. It really did not do well summarizing that site. Thought it was kind of interesting. But, Kidder, we've been talking for quite a while. We're starting to run out of steam. I think it's time we wrap this episode up. You know, with some plugs.
Okay. Well, as we plead to you, join us on our website, beerbluesbs.com. On the website, you can find everything about the show, including our merch store, where to find us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Podbean, plus all the audio episodes there, and the ability to buy us a beer at beerbluesbs.com. Please join us there. Peruse the site, become a sponsor of the show. Help us keep on going, because that's the only way to keep this show afloat. Sponsor us. Get in contact with us. Slide into our DMs at beerbluesbs.com. As I mentioned, we are on Facebook at beerbluesbs. We're also on Instagram at beerbluesbs. And on YouTube, we are at beerbluesbs as well. So just go on any of the platforms, search for Beer Blues and BS. Please like our show. Please like it. Do it. Help us out. Share the content as well. Comment on the video. Drop us a note below and help us get through the metrics. You know what I mean? Help us get through and make some things actually happen. Other than that, well, if you're on any of the audio platforms that are out there, such as Google Podcasts, Google Play, Apple Podcasts, iTunes, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Pandora, Amazon Music, Stitcher, TuneIn, IMDb, or Player FM, please search for us. Beer Blues and BS, Beer, Blues, and BS. Please subscribe to us for free or like us for free. Share the episodes. Drop us your comments on the episode. We'd love to know your thoughts and opinions. So help us out. Beer Blues and BS. Other than that, well, Killer Kidder Show is also on Spotify. You can follow the curated playlist that I keep there, with all kinds of amazing music to keep you going for days and days without even hearing a repeated track. On Spotify, the Killer Kidder Show. Otherwise, here we are, and we'd love to hear from you. That's right. Join us there, beerbluesbs.com. And again, find everything about the show, including the merch store. Mentioned it before, but you can get one of these wonderful triple B pint glasses, Beer Blues and BS pint glass, right there on the web store, beerbluesbs.com. Click on merch. So I suppose that's about wrapping it up for this week's episode. He's Howard Blues, and well, me, I'm the man, the myth, the legend, Mark Kidder. Thanks for joining us for this and every episode of the Triple P. Remember to keep your glass at least half full. There's free beer tomorrow, and we will catch you on down that slightly dry Tuscan Highway. Have a good one. See you on the next Beer Blues and BS.
You have been listening to a UA production of Beer, Blues, and BS. If you enjoyed the show, help others find out about it by rating the show or leaving a review at your podcast listening service of choice. Thanks for listening, and may your glass never be empty. UA Productions presents A Glimpse Behind the Curtain.